Hi guys, my name is Björn and welcome to Gilmourish. Today I'm going to try to answer one of the most frequent questions I get on this channel. Which clone is the best clone? Of course, we're talking about the tube driver, and we're going to talk about the TDY from Past Effects. I'm going to look at the pedal, its tones and all its features, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite tones. So stick around. David Gilmour started to use the tube driver in the early 90s, and it was heavily featured on the 1994 Division Bell album. And it was also used on the following tour, which obviously ended in the Pulse live album. It's been its main overdrive and distortion unit ever since, and in many cases it seems that it's favoring the tube driver over his old big muffs. Gilmour has a couple of different models in his setup. One is the older Chandler that has a slightly warmer character, a bit more mid-range and an overall smoother breakup. The reissue or the relaunch of the tube driver is the BK Butler. That has a slightly more open character, less compression and also a less mid-range, making it more of a transparent preamp. I bought my first tube driver during the On an Island era, and this is my BK Butler 2006 model. I've used this on most of the Airbag albums and my solo albums, as well as a lot of shows. I really love this one. I've had countless of the BK and a couple of the Chandlers, but this one sounded the best to my ears. And as much as I love it, I've always had some issues with the top end. So I use a bit of compression, sometimes an EQ. But this is where the clone enters. And Past Effects has made a wonderful clone of the tube driver, which is a clone of an older clone, but they've sort of made it into their own. And the recent upgrade sort of takes the tube driver circuits further. They've added a mid-range control, which comes in handy on typically American style amps that has less mid-range. You can choose between different clipping modes, and you can also switch it back to the original 4-knob model. I've used this a lot lately, and all I can say is that this is by far my favorite tube driver clone. It's incredibly versatile, not least because of the mid-range control. And to answer your question, this is, in my opinion, the clone that you're looking for. This is just amazing and spot on my 2006 tube driver. Now, as you probably see on the following clips, you'll notice that I've rolled back the mid-range quite a bit, and the highs as well. The reason is that I'm using Celestion V30s, which are fairly bright, much brighter than the faint crescendos that David Gilmour is using. So you have to set up, as with any distortion or overdrive pedal, you have to match it with your setup. As always, I'm going to show you some of my favorite tones. I'm using my black Stratocaster with a Seymour Duncan SSL5 bridge pickup and D Allen Voodoo 69s in the neck and middle. I'm using my Reeves high-watt clone, and as I mentioned, a Laney Lionheart cabinet with V30 Celestions in it. The cab is mic'd with a Sennheiser 906, and I'm using Evidence Audio cables. So let me know what you think. Please use the comments field below. Do you have the original tube driver? Do you have this clone? Do you have other pedals that you use for the similar tones, like the Boss BD2, for example, which is an amazing similar sounding pedal? And as always, head on over to Gilmourish.com and check out all there is to know about all his guitars, pedals and amps on all the albums and tours. And I'll see you soon.